Hi everyone. It's all happening in Berlin tonight. The fire alarm has gone off in our studio down the road, and the police are there, and the fire brigade are there, and no one can turn it off. So my partner's just putting on a winter coat, and he's going to cycle down to the studio and see if he can turn it off. Hello Maruko, hi, how are you? So I'm online now, so I'm safe from all that stuff with the police and the fire brigade. We're just going to talk about tarot and read tarot cards this evening. And let's wait for everyone to sort of settle down. There were three people, then there was one. I think maybe the connection sort of flickers a bit at the beginning, doesn't it? Anyway, or maybe you know, strangers come online, people who don't know me, and they see the live stream and they're so shocked that they run away immediately. Hello David, nice to see you online, and thanks for your book recommendations and your messages. Very welcome, thank you very much. Oh, I haven't done my opening reading yet. Hello Redwing. Good evening, welcome. Let's do an opening reading. What's the session going to be like this evening? One card for me, one card for you guys, and one card for the live stream. And we'll see. Oh, okay. Well, I've got a 10 of Swords for me, so that tests me as a positivistic tarot card reader, doesn't it? Because I'm going to have to find a positive spin to put on that. I don't really feel like the 10 of Swords, but that's my card for this evening. I mean, maybe I'm going to just be completely, I don't know, disturbed by the police and the fire brigade this evening. I don't know. Or maybe it simply means that from now on, things are going to get better and better and better and better. That's certainly one interpretation of the 10 of Swords. And the Six of Swords reversed, that's for you guys out there tuning in, and I take that to mean no moving on, and so hopefully you'll stick with me, and we'll do some good readings, and we'll discuss some interesting things about tarot, and we'll have a good hour together if we can. And look, the session itself is quite well aspected. That's a card for the session itself, High Priestess or Papess. So I read that as the revealing of hidden things. So hopefully we will actually get some insights this evening. But we'll just see what this means. I mean, isn't it interesting that the 10 of Swords? Hi Robin. Isn't it interesting that the 10 of Swords is there in the pack? And if we're going to be in the 21st century, if we're going to be reading tarot like a lot, as a sort of way of sharpening up our intuition, and as a way of just being cleverer and more connected with the other side or the other dimensions, what are we gonna do with these cards like 10 of Swords? So my theory is that, you know, it's the nadir, it's the low point. So either you can say, oh my God, that's so terrible, or you can say it is inevitable that things will get better. So maybe it's just inevitable that after today, my tarot practice will just get better and better and better. We shall see. I have a question for the day. It's sort of a question for tarot experts. I don't know whether we've got any experts in the audience this evening, but I've been reviewing a book called Queen of Hearts by a lady called Kat Willett, and I find the book very strange, and some of the things in the book seem to be not terribly well researched. And so I'm reviewing the book and I'm being a bit critical of it, but I want to be clear of my facts before I weigh in and accuse someone else of getting their facts wrong. And at one point in the book, she's talking about the Rider-Waite-Smith, this famous deck that we all use, or that many of us use, the Pamela Coleman Smith, Arthur Edward Waite deck. And she says, as a sort of throwaway line, the deck first came out in black and white and then was reprinted in colour. And I must say, I thought the first edition of the Rider-Waite-Smith was in 1909, and apparently it wasn't very well printed, but I've never heard of it being in black and white. I mean, they were just colour cards. She made some ink drawings in black and white, and then she would have sent them off to the printer, and then they would have sent back whatever they sent back in 1909. And she then would have done her colours, and then sent them back to the printer, and they would have been all like mashed together in some clever printing way, and then it would have appeared. But I never heard of them actually releasing a black and white deck. Maybe there was a private small circulation black and white deck. I'd love to know. I have some reference books. I will dive into them and see what comes up. Hello, Crystal Magic. I'm a bit unsettled this evening because the fire alarm has gone off in our studio. This is a studio that we share with other artists, and the police and the fire brigade are there, and no one can turn it off. And so my husband's gone down the road on his bike with the key to the cellar, and they're going to try and turn it off. But if you guys can help me, can just send me sort of calming, containing vibes, that would be great. I did a reading for this session, and it looks like it's going to be a very good session, but I've got some kind of Ten of Swords to deal with this evening. So we shall see. Maybe our studio is, I don't know, in trouble in some way. So yeah, it's slightly distracting my attention. But I do think that even if your attention is distracted, thank you, David. Even if your attention is distracted, you can read cards and things, because we're talking about forces that are bigger than us, aren't we, in the end? So yeah, David has been recommending me some interesting books. Calming energy from Crystal Magic. It is stressful, Crystal Magic, yes. Okay, David is going to distract me with a question. Any tips for knowing when a court card is a person versus simply an aspect of yourself? I think I would say, this is just me, top of my head, I think things like tarot have to be fun, and I think they have to be about pleasing yourself, because there's a million ways of doing tarot, okay? I think the court cards are certainly the most difficult part of the deck. Really, maybe because of that question. Is it an energy or an aspect, or is it a person? And I think I don't really have any solid tips in terms of rules. It is a matter of being intuitive, but then how can you switch on your intuition? I think go with what makes you feel comfortable as a kind of practice. And for my practice, what makes me feel comfortable is to use them primarily as energies and aspects. So for example, the Page of Pentacles is known for taking things seriously. So for me, Page of Pentacles is, in a sense, the necessity to take things seriously. Queen of Wands is pushy and bit egocentric, but in a good way. And so, it's that pushy, egocentric, this is me sort of energy there. Knight of Pentacles is very reliable, so it's being reliable. And I think I always start with the energy, and if the reading sort of pushes me towards a person, then clearly, they're brilliant for signifying people. And also, if the question, if you're working with the querent and the querent comes in and you get the feeling that it's about people, then you're hoping the court cards are going to come down and answer that sort of people question. I think if I ask the tarot an open question like, what's my issue for the day, I would almost, and I saw 3 court cards, I would usually interpret those as energies or aspects of myself. But you see, you can interpret major arcana cards as people if you like. I mean, if I see the Empress on the table, I have to say, I sometimes think of my sister, because my sister is sort of Empress of her particular world, and manages it very well. Sometimes I see the High Priestess and I think of a person. So yeah, but it's an extremely good question, David, because the court cards are a difficult part, and I'll have a think about it, and I might be able to come up with a more rigid sort of a rule which you could use. I think, I think in when there's more cards on the table, if there's 7 cards on the table or 12 cards on the table, it seems there's more freedom to maybe interpret them as people. If there's 1 or 2 cards on the table, I would want to get information about energies and aspects. But if I had 12 cards and I could see energies flying around in the other cards, and there were 2 or 3 court cards on the table, I think I would then be more inclined to use the court cards as people. I'm more interested in energies than I am in saying, oh no, your mother-in-law, your mother-in-law is so unsupportive. Yes, your dad is so conservative. But then, you do sometimes see that. Read the cards, and don't doubt yourself, don't question yourself. Because we're looking at the cards and we're making stories out of the cards. So if someone says, or if a voice in your head says, oh, you're just making all this up. Well, in a sense, you are making it up, and that's what you're meant to be doing. You are using your creativity to channel, to sort of like interface with the universe and channel messages, I think. So I'm also available to give readings this evening, and I also I was doing again some readings with my husband the other day, and I realised there's a kind of reading I don't really like doing, which is if someone asks me just give me a reading on the year ahead or the week ahead or something like that. If it's completely open like that, I find it difficult. I need to know, well, what's the question about your week ahead, or what's the question about your year ahead? If you just put cards down on the table, it's not sort of tough enough, But yes, I'm available for readings. It's nearly 6:15, and if anyone would like to ask me something, some lovely, interesting question, I am here. There might be something else I was going to say. Yes, I have tarot deck news. I've got the Wiser Tarot here. It arrived in the post. Has anyone else got this? It's interesting because it's a recolouring of the Rider-Waite-Smith, and it's sort of it's notable because the skin tones have been changed to reflect, to reflect the planet. So we've got black and brown skinned people, we've got white skinned people, we've got people with like really strange skin tones as well, I have to say. And it's been coloured in a slightly sort of inky way. I find the cards a bit dark, a bit blotchy. It's the skies that are blotchy, that the figures themselves are quite nicely, coloured in quite nice detail. I don't know if you can see that. That Queen of Swords is quite nice. But they're these inky, blotchy skies which I don't find incredibly charming. Look, there's a nice Page of Pentacles against a very dull sky. And the cardstock is heavy. Look, a nice King of Pentacles again, but it's all a bit dark. The cardstock is quite thick, but it shuffles really badly for some reason. The cards have been sort of cut rather roughly. Okay, looks like David's kicking off. I'm off to a music conference next week playing a showcase. Oh, congratulations. I'd like to know what I should expect and how to make the most of it. Okay, that's a what's the word? A focused question. Okay, let's do 3 cards then for David at the music conference playing a showcase. That does sound like a lot of, Yes, Maruka, you can. I'll do David first, and then I'll do Maruka. Maruka, when you're ready, just tell me what your question is, and I will spend the next few minutes reading for David. Just a second, I'm going to get my egg timer. Okay. So, David, playing a showcase at the music conference. Okay. Well, that's just a second. I have to check that. David, okay, forewarned is forearmed. You've got the Moon card as your main card. That's the issue of this performance that you're playing at the music conference. And that means I would say you might feel a bit destabilized, okay? I don't know whether you tend to feel extremely confident and just on top of everything when you do play showcases, but there is here a kind of like an indication that there might be a slight feeling of worry. And as I say, in this context, I've just been thinking about the Moon, destabilization. I've given you 3 advice cards, and I read tarot in a very, therapeutic way. It's not predicting problems, it's just optimizing your experience of this showcase. So here we have your issue here. We've got a Moon card. I put buttons to keep them on the magnet. And here are your suggestions. A 10 of Cups, a reversed King of Rods, and the reversed Six of Pentacles. And I'll read those suggestions out to you one by one. Okay, so Ten of Cups. So to get over this feeling of destabilization, you need to make yourself somehow feel at home, okay? And you need to make yourself somehow feel happy. So whatever it is that makes you happy, it may be just be playing music, but focus on that, okay? And make sure that you're in your element, you are centered in a happy place. King of Rods reversed. King of Rods is a bit of we're being warned off King of Rods, so we are being warned off maybe the negative aspects of King of Rods, and I'm going to read this as an energy, David. So King of Rods is a bit of an egomaniac. He wants to conquer everything, and he wants to be kind of Julius Caesar. Don't get distracted by ambition, okay? Or don't get distracted by ego at this time. And very interesting, the present. We've got a reversed Six of Pentacles. There's also another interesting detail about this event, which is that the tarot is saying it's saying you don't actually have to be generous. Is the words that are coming into my mind. So it's like again, the words I'm getting is don't give it all away. So it may be that, you know, without getting into ego and without being too pushy or selfish or anything, you also have to make sure that you're not giving something away to someone else. And it might be something about the conditions where you're tempted to say, oh, that's all right. That's all right. I don't mind. I can accept that less good condition. So you've sort of, in a sense, you sort of conceded something. So just be a little bit on your guard. And I think it's like a little fortune cookie, these little 5-minute readings that I give. But that's what I would say. And you can just put it into your sort of subconscious and just let it sink in. But I'm sure you'll be fine. As I say, these readings are really just there to optimize your experience. And you know, with the moon, you have your own resources, don't you? You have everything that you know, and you have your talent and your training. So you rely on your own resources, and you get through this this slight feeling of destabilization. You get through it to the other side, and you're a stronger person. That was my reading for David. Deep breath. I'm going to clear those cards away. You're very welcome, very welcome, very welcome. I'm now going to read Maruko's question. I'm working hard for something, and I would like to know, 6 years from now, what is my life like and how are my finances? Thank you. 6 years from now. Now, Maruko, okay, I have some observations to make about that. I see tarot as working with our big brain and those parts of ourselves that exist on the other side, in the other dimensions. And in the other dimensions, there is no time, or at least there is a completely different experience of time. And in my experience, I think it might be quite difficult to, for like, what's the word? A straightforward tarot reader like myself, or you guys, I might say, to say, okay, we're going for 6 years from now. But I can say in the future, we can say in the long future, what is my life like and how are my finances? What is my life like and how are my finances? Okay. Maruko, we haven't got all that many requests today, so the readings are slightly longer. Hi, Be Curious. Okay. So I'll do Be Curious after Maruka. Be Curious. So Maruka, I'm going to throw down some cards for you and see what I can see. We want something like 6 years in the future for Maruko. If the guides can show us that, let's see as accurately as we can get that. And I appreciate you guys asking these questions because they are interesting questions. And they all have something to tell us about practice of tarot reading. Reversals, 1, 2, 3. Maruko, 6 years from now, you are cranking it out. You're cranking it out. And I'm going to keep my language quite abstract here because I don't know what you're doing. You say you're working hard for something, but this is in the second house. I've actually got 12 cards on the table. I can't show you the whole thing because it's too many cards, but I'll show you one by one. I think you'll really have your hands full. You might even be regretting how busy you are. I think you're going to be very on top of your career. 10th house, 2 of Wands. This guy's holding the world in his hands. That sounds extremely interesting. You will have It seems like a fairly stable home life. And good health. And in a way, I think that's all I can tell you, Maruka, because it is so far in the future. I mean, I think it's going to be a very interesting time for you because you will have reached a certain sort of peak, probably almost like a peak in your career. And you are going to want to expand. That's 10th house, and in the 9th house you have a death card. You're going to want to expand and change. I mean, I think it's very interesting that you've said 6 years. A lot of people might have said, 1, 2, 3, or 4. You're very specific about that. So I think maybe you've picked something up about that 6 year period. Yeah, interesting question. There's a limit to how much I want to say there. We're not talking about the things flying around in your reality right now. So, Maruka, take a deep breath with me. That was my reading for you and your finances 6 years from now. So maybe make a note of it and then in 6 years, have a look at that note and see how it reflects what's happened. Deep breath, be curious. And then underneath be curious, there's Pixie Cat. May I have a reading? Yes, you may have a reading, Pixie Cat, and I will put you down. We have a sort of like a queue going here. There's not that many people here this evening. So thank you, Maruka, you're welcome. So I think we're going to be fine. Pixie Cut. So now I'll do Be Curious's reading. Incidentally, everyone, these readings are free, but you can buy me a coffee if you want. Hi, Robert. I'd appreciate a reading. I have a job interview on Tuesday. How will it go? Okay, Be Curious. Let's do 7 cards for you. Okay, a 7-card reading for Be Curious. A job interview on Tuesday. How will it go? Is it 7 cards or 3 cards? It's 3 cards. I'm going to do 3 cards for you, okay? How will it go? Be curious. I'm going to give you a reading about the job interview. And the issues in the job interview and the advice, okay? If it's all right with you, I don't want to be wildly predictive about that. In these quick live streamed readings, we can't go that deep, okay? Let's do an issue and advice reading for your interview. Is that okay, Be Curious? Okay. You've got the death card as your issue. So change, transformation, job interview. So you are basically putting yourself in a position where you are asking for a new position. And if you got it, your life would change. And you, in a sense, would have a different role. So in some sense, you would be a different person. That's your issue as you walk into that room, or if it is a room or online. What's the advice? You've got a reversed Emperor and a reversed Page of Pentacles. I'm going to take a 3rd card. And a reversed 2 of Swords. What I'm seeing here, Be Curious, is the advice seems to be not to play it safe and try to put yourself across as sort of Captain Sensible. I mean, this is Knight of Pentacles, the most reliable card in the deck, reversed. So it's like advising you not necessarily to go too much for that energy. We've got the Emperor, the most structured sort of male energy, and here we've got 2 of Swords, that the person who holds everything together. I think, again, if you just focus on portraying yourself as reliable and structured, I think it would in a sense make you tense. And it might make you kind of like clam up a bit. I have the feeling from these 3 reversed cards that the guides want you to reveal a little bit of your creativity, and your what makes you fun and sort of is a more flowing, adaptable energy. So not too not too much about structure and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I'm getting. And there's something else I'm getting, which is that you might be required to be, in a sense, adaptable during the interview, that they might throw you questions that you weren't expecting. So you might have to display sort of a kind of an adaptable, flowing quality during the interview. So I think it might be that you can't be sort of super well prepared for it. You just have to be in a good space and a little bit relaxed if possible. Be curious. I'm going to stop there. We take a deep breath to be curious and we clear the cards. I hope that was helpful. And under Be Curious, we have Pixie Cut's question. Oh, good. That reflects exactly what's going on internally right now. Thank you so much. Eurofav Pingu. Hi, Eurofav Pingu. Hi, you're very welcome. We're doing some... Yes, you can ask a question. I'll put you on the list. And your Pingu, your fave Pingu. And you can write your question down. I'm going to do a question for Pixie Cut now, a reading. And I think you will be after... No, then there's after Pixie Cut, there's A. So, yeah. So after Pixie Cut, I would read for A. And A, I'm delighted to give you a quick reading. They're all quite short readings here. And A, could I ask you to be a little bit more specific? Give me more of an angle. I did one of those very general readings the other day on the year ahead, and I'm finding they're not always terribly helpful. It's too open. So if you could give me an aspect of your life that you'd like to look at in the year ahead, and incidentally, happy birthday, then I think the reading will be more interesting to you and more valuable, okay? But no hurry, because I will answer Pixie Cut's question. If so, the question is, will I see new/more money coming my way? Thank you. Okay. Let's just pop down 3 cards then, Pixie Cut. New money or more money coming my way? Three or 7? Okay. Pixie Cut. Will Pixie Cut see new or more money coming their way? Okay, reversals. Environment, obstacles, outcome. Well, Pixie Cut, you're in a good position right now, in the present moment, to maximize your grip on finances. So right now, January the 14th is a good moment, and I think, oddly enough, I do see money coming your way, and I think it might bring its own problems. Look, future conditions, 10 of Battens. So I see you've asked this question, you've got that card. It feels like you say more money or even new money. Now, new money is an interesting expression because it implies money coming from a new source. And that does sound like a new set of responsibilities that could go with that new money. It feels like here's your environment. It feels like things are changing and there's movement. But what I'm guessing is that the message I'm getting is that new money or more money I'm seeing a reversed high priestess. High priestess is a woman who has power through learning. And it's not that. Is it that you're going in a direction where you're not going to be very challenged intellectually, or going into a situation where you're overqualified? Anyway, the advice is to keep your feet on the ground and just deliver the goods as much as you can. And I think there will be money, and in a sense, then your question will be something else. You know, in a sense, your concern will almost immediately become something else. That was Pixie Cut's reading. We take a deep breath. And we clear the cards away. After Pixie Cut, I'm going to read for A. So A, I don't know if you're still online. I need you to, and I understand that it's your birthday, but I need you to give me a more focused question than just what will the year bring me. It's too open, and I've recently decided that it's not a particularly good question to ask with tarot cards. I mean, I certainly wouldn't refuse you a reading on your birthday, but please, if you're still online, could you try to think of a way to make it a bit more focused, a bit more specific, and then we'll see what we can do, okay? Your fave Pingu. Can questions still be asked? Yes, they can. Pingu, okay. Okay, Pingu. Jim W. JMEW, hello JMEW. Yes, you're seeing my live stream. We are live. Hello 999 show. So JMEW has a question. Okay, Mr. Pingu, you can type in your question, and when I read it, I will answer it. Okay. Now A has got back to me, so A is next. A says, my question would be then, will I do artistically better in my work this coming year than the previous one? Will I do artistically better in my work this coming year than the previous one. So we're going to look at you in your work this coming year. And I am going to, rather than frame this as a yes, no, I'm going to ask for an issues and advice card for you, okay? A 3 or a 7, just a second, 3. No, I'll give you 7, let's do a horseshoe for you. And so it's about A's artistic work in 2024, good. And we'll see if it's going to go well. Seven. Okay, reversals. 1, 2 reversals. Reversed 7 of rods. Environment obstacles. Outcome. Okay. A, this is a good moment for you. This is your card for present circumstances, the sun. So you are in a good place at the moment, and it's a good place for creativity. You can, in a sense, just live your life and live your artistic life in the most straightforward way. Do all the things that seem the most obvious things for you to do to make yourself happy, to express yourself. And conditions are good right now. And in the future, you have a reversed 7 of rods. So it means that, in a sense, the conditions will even get even better in the course of this year, because you won't really have to defend your position so much. Now, where this is going in the course of this year is very interesting. You've got the Hanged Man. That's where this year is going for you creatively. Now, the Hanged Man is a very sort of surrealistic card. It's a bit of a riddle, really. No one really knows what it means. But it seems like the world turns upside down. But also the world turns upside down in a way that is very creative and could be very helpful if you go with it. Now, you've gone from the Sun card, which is quite peaceful and quite creative, to the Hanged Man card, which is a bit like going into the unknown a bit, but it is also very creative. And what's the advice? You've got a reverse 10 of Cups. It feels like either literally or metaphorically, it feels like you need to journey away from home. You need to explore a little bit, okay? You need to strike out on your own, okay? Because you're here, you're in the sun. This is the magic garden where everything's safe. And that's the home card, but, reversed. Don't stay at home in this year. Go out and explore, do new things, either literally or in your head, okay? We take a deep breath. That was A's reading. We clear away the cards. It's 10 to 7, and I'm going to see who's in the queue and how many more readings we can do. We've got Pingu and we've got JMEW. Okay. Hello, Larch Tarot. Hello, Schlock. There's Schlock. Okay, so Pingu first and then JMEW. JME, is that Jamie? Okay. Pingu says, Mr. Robert, will me and Erica start calling soon over Instagram? She already brought it up a while ago and I feel this would make us both very happy. Okay. Okay, Pingu. So let's not get too much into the predictive side of exactly what's going to happen. Let's look at the energies between you and Erica, okay? And then we can see whether the cards, how much information the cards want to give us at the moment. Pingu, Erica, and the relationship between them. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Pink, we've got a Four of Swords for you, so it sounds like a bit of a frustrating time for you. And maybe you're just, so that in a sense is partly coming from this situation, isn't it? There is a certain I would say certain frustration about what's going on. I'm going to come back to this card in a second. I think, you see, from her point of view, Erica's point of view, she's got a 7 of batons. So it's a bit defensive, isn't it? And it sounds like, you see, look, you've got the 4 of Cups, so you've got the angel, in a sense, offering this person the cup, but the person is not really looking at the cup. The person is looking at the cups on the ground and is looking in the wrong direction. Now, it seems to me that somebody is offering you something at the moment. It's either Erica or it's someone else. But I think it's Erica. But maybe you're not quite able to hear it because her way of expressing herself is a bit defensive. Now, the relationship between the two of you, the sign that I got for that is the Pope. And the Pope really is the Pope is about society. The Pope is about convention. The Pope is about the rules of how we are supposed to behave with each other. Okay, it feels like there's something a bit formal here between you and Erica, that the way that this is going on is just a bit too formal. And I think if both of you can maybe, crack a joke and relax a bit, then I think you will start calling. That's all I can say for now. Okay. Deep breath. That was Pingu's reading. So, Jamie W. And then, let's see if there's anyone after Jamie, because I might... Oh, wow, there's a lot of people. Cracking jokes, yeah. Okay, now we have to see who I'm going to read to between now and the end of the session, okay? Let me just have a look at the chat. It's Jamie W. next. Schlock says hi. Oops. Hi, Schlock. Good. You're welcome, A. Jamie, yes. Nicholas is here. Hi, Nicholas. I'm going to finish soon. Pingu. She's my partner. Okay. Ongoing financial issues. She is struggling. Crack jokes. Do that. Okay. So, I'm just scrolling back here. Jamie's question. Okay, I have a question. I've always struggled with my weight. Do you have any suggestions on what I should focus on to work on the issue, or will I be able to make better progress this year? You've used the word this issue, and I do have an issue spread. So let's use that one. Okay, we're talking about Jamie, and Jamie's talking about I've always struggled with my weight. Work on the issue. Or will I be able to make do you have any suggestions on what? Jamie, I'm going to answer the first question. Do you have any suggestions on what I should focus on to work on the issue? Because that I can do with an issue and suggestion spread, okay? So Jamie and the issue of weight. And soon, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end around 7 o'clock GMT. Okay. You've got a 9 of Swords as the issue. Frankly, Jamie, 9 of Swords. It's a sword card. It's a mental card. In other words, what I mean is it's a mind card. And 9 of Swords is the card of, if you like, mental anguish. And in the good versions of the 9 of Swords, all the swords are pointing in one direction. So it's those bits of your brain that kind of like those neural pathways that sort of draw you in one direction, that you get sucked along. And once you start thinking certain thoughts, you you're in a train of thought and you can't stop it. And so it seems to me that the issue is somehow mental here. So what are the suggestions? Okay, that you need a strategy. And the strategy is this. Kiss the past goodbye. Now that's frankly the words that I get when I see this card for you in this spread. And it may be that it would be nice for me and nice for you if I didn't say anything much more than that. And just let those words resonate. And you've got one more card, which is that the world completion. So I'll show you the reading on my magnet board. With buttons all over it. There you've got your issue, 9 of Swords, just pointing out to us that this is in the head. And these are your 3. This is your suggestion row. We can read it right to left to right. 7 of Swords, reversed 6 of Cups, world. So you need a strategy. Kiss the past goodbye. And bring this matter to completion. So I don't want to be too, what's the word, cryptic about it, but it may be it may resonate with you about something about, what's the word? Some sort of, something about getting your head in order by dealing with something in the past once and for all, you know? Jamie, does that have any resonance? Well, I hope it does. I'm going to take a deep breath and clear away Jamie's cards. Then I'm going to look at the chat and see if we're going to do anything else. It's kind of 7 GMT already, isn't it? So it feels like we might be coming to the end, but let's see if anyone's been really forgotten. I've got Jamie on my list. Schlock would be next. Thank you, Crystal Magic. Thank you, Crystal Magic. Thank you, Jamie. Hello, Schlock. Okay. Okay, Schlock has been slightly forgotten, so I am going to put down some cards for Schlock, and then we're going to finish. Okay, everyone? Ooh. Sorry that the screen is wobbling like that. It's on a kind of like a springy arm thing because I can't get it together to get a tripod. Will Vidisha and me get into a committed relationship soon? No contact. Well, Schlock, as I've said recently, you know, the other dimensions are not very good at timing, but I can give you a 3-card reading for you and Vidisha. And I feel I want to use the Wiser deck because I've got it here. And let's see. Okay, Schlock, Vidisha, and the relationship. Okay, last reading of the day, ladies and gentlemen. And Schlock asks, will Vidisha and me get into a committed relationship soon? No contact. There we go, one for Schlock, one for Vidisha, and one for the relationship. Schlock, you've got a reverse Ace of Wands. Vidisha has an Emperor card. And the relationship has a 5 of Batons. I'm going to be kind of simple here. It feels like this is a bit of an uphill struggle. And if I see that card as the card symbolizing the relationship, I would say it doesn't feel like you are going to get into a committed relationship with Vidisha soon. It's the card of struggle, and it's the card of struggle which doesn't necessarily make headway. Okay, and that's your card, and that's Vidisha's card. They feel like they're not quite connecting at the moment. It feels like you're not quite expressing your your creativity with regard to Vidisha. And it feels like Vidisha is not quite receiving that spark. So I don't make predictions about what's going to happen, but those are the energies that I can see at this moment in time about that particular connection, okay? We could ask again in a week and it could have changed. So we take a deep breath. It feels like we're finishing now. It's about 5 past. And thank you, Crystal Magic, again. Yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, everyone, goodbye for now. If anyone feels wildly generous and wants to buy me a coffee, no obligation, but you can. And I will buy myself another tarot book and get more and more in tune with the cards that I can read nicely for you next time. Redring, really appreciate your interpretation angles on the cards, Robert. It's very helpful for my readings. Hope your studio is okay. Yes, I do. So I have to go now and find out if the studio is okay, what happened with the police and the fire brigade. So thanks for joining, everyone. Thanks, Pixie Cut. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Thanks, Larch Tarot. You take care too. Take care, everyone. Stay warm if you can. Hibernate if you need to. And the great thing about winter is you can eat because you need more calories to stay warm, at least in the Northern Hemisphere at the moment. Thank you, David. Good luck with the presentation. And thank you all for joining. And I will be back next week. Same time, same place. But check with my, I always schedule. So check the schedule and then I will confirm by putting out a schedule. Thanks, Jamie. Good luck with that. Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye.